Alright, this one is for you because you're lonely and you want to date. You go on these dating apps and you struggle because dating apps don't work for you. If you're a man, chances are you're not getting a lot of hits on all your swipes, you're not getting a lot of feedback, and you're reaching out a lot and you're getting disappointed because you're not connecting with anybody. And then when you do connect with people, they don't really have the patience, the energy, the time, or the interest in engaging with you because they're already burnt out from having been overengaged by every other man who's on a dating app. And if you're a woman, you're probably burnt out from being reached out and connected with every guy on the dating app. So there's something fundamentally wrong with these dating apps, and I don't know why. Why do we still think that it's okay for us to do this? I've made this video because, well, one, dating apps don't work, and I wanted to demonstrate how to date properly so that you don't have to do dating apps and struggle with them, and then really just change the way we think about why we are dating. So that's the primary question. It's like, why are we dating? And we're dating because we feel a loneliness inside. And I know that's why I engaged with dating apps. That's why I started dating in the first place. This is why I started dating before my marriage. And what I've come to learn is that dating doesn't solve the loneliness. So what it means to be lonely, it means to be dissatisfied with being alone. Then you were lonely. Because if you were satisfied being alone, you would be okay with it. And then you wouldn't need to reach out to other people. And what other people do is they provide stimulus for you, and they provide validation and emotional support, which is important to a degree, but it is not a reason to go and pursue romantic relationships with somebody. I think a lot of people have also lost sight of why they have romantic relationships to begin with. And there's a biological imperative that we seem to just delude ourselves into thinking we don't need to respond to. And on one hand, there's a physical drive to actualize romantic physical intimacy with somebody. But then there's the consequence of that action, which is to bear and father children, right? And create a family, which is part of the biological imperative. So when you were engaging in a romantic relationship, without that level of commitment to the reason of your togetherness, then it's going to fall short because it's falling short of its biological imperative. And what does this mean about loneliness? Well, it means that your emotional satisfaction also needs to be purposely driven, or it's going to fall short. And you can't find it in somebody else. No amount of emotional intimacy with somebody else is going to raise your emotional well-being to the point where it's sufficient. At best, it will be a crutch for your emotional well-being. And insofar and as long as you are engaged in a relationship where your emotional well-being is at a deficit, you're going to bring that to the relationship. And that's going to also drag your relationship down. So that's the problem, is that dating apps are offering intimacy and stimulus instead of self-growth. And what I'm arguing is that these relationships are going to fall flat. In fact, the constituency of the dating apps are 99.9% people who are falling short emotionally because the reason that they engage with those apps is because they're suffering. And so if you're suffering and you go to the app and then the only thing that you find are other people who are suffering, then the net result will be the two of you suffering together and falling down. And so whether you're succeeding or not, you're suffering to begin with, and you're going to suffer at the end of it too. It's just empty. And so if you want to succeed in dating, it's not about dating app skill, making profiles, talking to people. None of that will carry your relationship. The only thing that will carry your relationship is your self-growth, your self-actualization. your ability to your own self-esteem, your own emotional intelligence, your own emotional well-being. And when you have those things, then you will attract, right? In this law of attraction sense, but it's just it's like it's like you're on a path. When you don't have a path to walk on, right? You cling to other people so that you can have some kind of path. At least the two of you will wander around aimlessly. But when you start walking on the path that is for you because you are doing things that you want to be doing and need to be doing that are fulfilling for yourself so that you can build your self-esteem, so that you can have purpose, so you can be self-actualized and authentic. When you are doing that, then people who are also doing that will be on your path. And when you are walking together with somebody, it will flow naturally that you should form a relationship. Not necessarily romantic, but like if you're both walking in the same place, then it's easier to walk together, right? And if you need to rest somewhere, it's easier to rest together, right? You make a fire together. So whatever it is that you're trying to do in life, if you start doing it, then you'll find people who want to be with you because you're already doing the thing that they're doing and you can work with them. So prescriptively, get off the dating app. It's not going to solve your loneliness. And the first thing you need to do is to work on yourself, the way that you feel when you're alone. And instead of taking stimulus to replace those poor feelings of yourself, you want to find your own meaning, find your own purpose, find a thing that you do that you enjoy doing that is beneficial for other people, and then you want to do that because that itself, that activity will give you your self-worth. And then when you have self-worth and you have self-satisfaction and self-driven reward and self-validation because you did the thing that you wanted to do and you're like, aha, I did it. You don't need somebody else to tell you that you did it. You did it for yourself and you're satisfied with it. Then you won't be lonely. And then you can do the thing that fulfills you. And on that self-fulfilling journey, wherever it goes, the people who are on that path because they're also on self-fulfilling journeys, or maybe they're not, they're just on the same path, they might walk with you because you're already walking in that same direction with them. And that's the person that you want to be with because you'll be satisfied in yourself with somebody else who's satisfied with themselves. So get off dating apps and go find your purpose. Figure out what it is that you want to do for yourself and do it. And then in doing that thing, you'll find the people who are meant for you.